You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Looking forward to getting started today on our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend, where we answer all of our community's questions on all things wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging. And as I always like to say, and everything in between. So we'll talk about some mindset, some motivation, some mystery-based illnesses today, all sorts of different recommendations. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you're listening today, I wish you a Merry Christmas Eve. If you celebrate Christmas Eve, a fun day, like I mentioned yesterday, a great time to be able to spend with family, to spend with those that you truly do care about and really want to show your appreciation for them in your life. I hope that you're also taking a little bit of downtime this time of the year so that you're renewing, that you're rejuvenating your body so that you're able to have your best 2018 ever. Looking forward to that myself. Can't wait to speak with you more about that on tomorrow's Motivation and Mindset Monday. But for today, I want to get started. So I want to get right into the questions. I want to be able to go through quite a few with you today. And the first one is coming in from Donna. Donna is asking, Dear Dr. Cabral, over a year ago I was experiencing mild to strong feelings of weakness sensations in my arms and legs. After many medical tests, I found a Palmer Specific Chiropractor and Nutritionist. X-rays showed I had no curve in my upper cervical. Through a year of adjustments, those sensations went away, and a curve is taking shape in my upper cervical. Just this past year, I've been experiencing these symptoms again. I haven't yet addressed this to my chiropractor. It limits my workout, so I can't lift heavy, or the sensations feel stronger. I'm 51, at a good weight, exercise daily, paleo, good source foods, your approved supplements, drink more than half my body weight in water. I've done your 7-day detox and 90-day Candida and bacterial overgrowth cleanse. What are your thoughts? Respectfully and thankful, Donna. Okay, so Donna, there's a few things. We have to just first discern whether this is a biomechanical based issue, meaning that if this is a curvature of the spine issue, which it might be, right? You said your cervical vertebrae. For those people who don't know what that means, that's the upper vertebrae in the spinal column right around the neck area, okay? Cervical vertebrae would be that specific area, right above what's called the thoracic part of the chest and spine or back right there. So here's the deal. If your spine is getting out of alignment, we have to look at what's going on there. Is there some type of compression-based load, which through your weightlifting, are you doing too many barbell shoulder-based exercises that for whatever reason is causing some type of then biomechanical deviation of the spine? But more than likely what happens is that you're staring at a computer screen all day, that you might be driving a lot with your head, a lot of cervical flexion with your chin pushed forward, which is then leading to spinal-based deviations as well. So we'll have to look at that. We'll also need to really strengthen the upper rhomboids and upper trapezius-based muscles to help hold those spinal-based vertebrae in place. So check on that for sure. Work with a really good muscular therapist or chiropractor in your area on that. Change your workout programs to reflect that, to do a little bit more postural-based work, especially postural-based chain work with the mid and upper trapezius muscles, as well as the upper rhomboids in the back. So definitely check that out. Then you want to look at, if you're sitting a lot, is to start to get your overall hips and overall spine into alignment. Next, if there is that tingling going on, I just want to make sure that it's not a deficiency in certain B vitamins, such as B12, that it's not blood sugar dysregulation, that it's not lower amounts of zinc or other things too that can affect the tingling or neuropathy in your actual nervous system. So check that out. I want to make sure there's no impingement to the neck, that it's not the biomechanical based issue, or that you do not have any vitamin based deficiencies or blood sugar based dysregulation that can cause that as well. So that's a good place to get started. Will is up next. Will is asking, hi, can I undergo the 7-day detox while on antibiotics? Same for the Candida protocol. Can I start while on a specific antibiotic for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth? Thanks. Okay. So You can read the specific antibiotic if you want by going to stevencabral.com/688. That's where everyone's questions are today. I just don't want to always name all the specific antibiotics because honestly, it doesn't matter the antibiotic, the answer is going to be the same. So yes, you can do the 7-day detox while on the antibiotic. Just remember, after you finish the antibiotic, you will want to go on the clean gut probiotic to make sure there isn't yeast overgrowth or Candida overgrowth, or you can go on the full gut rebuilding protocol. Now, if you're doing the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, you do not need to go on the clean gut probiotic. You actually just continue on with the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. In my opinion, use that after you use your antibiotic. We have people use this antibiotic all the time, and the problem is they just relapse. They relapse 2 weeks later, 2 months later, but eventually they relapse because what happened was they never ended up really fixing the overall issues, because remember that antibiotic is an antibacterial, but it's not an antifungal. So that's the reason why it doesn't really fix SIBO for the long term in most people. So my highest recommendation is, if you'd like, sure, take the antibiotic, but then go on the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, which is the CBO protocol, and then you'll use the gut rebuilding protocol directly after that. That really does clear it up for most people. I mean, honestly, we get tremendous results with that. It's the number one thing that we really do in our practice. We help so many people who have never gotten results before. So if you have bloating, gas, brain fog, fibromyalgia, anything that can do with the gut, autoimmune-based issues, it's such an amazing protocol. And then you finish it up with the healing and sealing protocol, which is the gut rebuilding protocol. That will work. Everything is outlined through the program. You'll get tremendous results. Okay, so Vanessa is up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I've been battling Lyme disease for numerous years, and I'm always looking to learn more about nutrition and how to support my immune system. Can you recommend any books to read to continue learning? Thanks, Vanessa. Okay. So Vanessa, I know I promised this for a while now, but I will be doing a show on Lyme disease very soon. Stay tuned for that. It will be coming within the first 6 weeks or 8 weeks of the new year. Okay, here's the deal. When most people take antibiotics or some type of antibacterial protocol for Lyme, within the first 8 weeks or so, they're going to pretty much clear up most of the bacteria. The problem is that Lyme leaves a wake of destruction in its path. It hurts the mitochondria within the cells. It creates a dysfunction with the immune system, which means too exaggerated of an immune-based dysfunction, too low in certain areas. So the issue is a lot of people aren't dealing with Lyme disease anymore. I talk about this all the time. I've done 90-minute seminars on this. What a lot of people are still considering Lyme is no longer Lyme disease. They're dealing with the repercussions of Lyme. They're now dealing with the gut-based issues, and they're dealing with the mitochondrial-based issues. I cannot recommend enough the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol that I just spoke about in the last answer, as well as doing the daily fruit and vegetable blend and the daily nutritional support powder, okay? That is the Dr. Ball Daily Protocol without the probiotic, because you'll be using the probiotic during your Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol. That's what I would recommend. That's going to start to rebuild your body from the ground up. That is exactly what I recommend. There's a lot more you can do. So when I work with people with Lyme, we're using zinc, we're using antivirals, we're using antibacterials, we're boosting the immune system, using things like astragalus. So we're using great things for the body. But if you want that, it really helps to work with a functional medicine doctor or a naturopathic doctor that can work with you, that can tweak things during your protocol as needed, or wait for my complimentary podcast in about 6 to 8 weeks from now on an overall great Lyme-based protocol. But if you don't want to wait, get right on that Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, or do the organic acids test, which will show you your mitochondrial function, and it will show you the functioning of your gut in terms of Candida overgrowth and bacterial overgrowth. So that's amazing. You could do the organic acids test, work with one of our health practitioners. I'll give you my recommendations that they'll share with you, and then you can do the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol as needed. That is where to start. That's what I recommend. All right. Will's up next. Will's asking, hi, is the intestinal cleanse mandatory before beginning the Candida protocol, or can I just start with the Candida protocol itself? Thanks. Okay, well, so there is never a need to do the intestinal cleanse during any of our protocols if you choose not to. It is highly recommended for the parasite protocol, and it's highly recommended for the Candida protocol after about 4 to 6 weeks. You don't need to start with it, and you don't need to use it at all if you choose not to. It is best for people who have more constipation-based issues and want to make sure they're absolutely eliminating the Candida die-off, the bacterial die-off, and the parasite-based die-off. So No need to do it if you don't want to. It just gives your body an extra boost. I think it's tremendous. I try to do it once to twice a year just to remove any overgrowth, any biofilms, anything that's building up in there that I don't want. I can't recommend it enough. It works tremendously well, but you do not need to do it. It just helps to remove more from the bowels to a greater degree. So hopefully that answers your question of when to do it and if you need to do it. Okay, Tori's up next. Tori's asking, hi. First off, I'm very interested in holistic medicine approaches to healing, and I was wondering if you had any advice for a particular problem I've been dealing with. I'm a Division I cross-country and track athlete, and I've always had irregular periods since competitively running. However, ever since I got mono in the spring of my freshman year, over a year and a half ago, I have not gotten a natural period. I was on birth control for around 3 months, but it made me feel horrible. Ever since then, I've gotten placebo ones. I just got my estrogen levels tested, and they are undetectable, meaning that I'm essentially postmenopausal. I'm really intent on trying to regain this vital cycle for my overall health, since it has caused discomforting symptoms for me. I'm not exactly sure how. I've been trying to research foods and supplements I can try, but I was wondering if you have any knowledgeable advice, since this is somewhat within the realm of what you study. I'm so sorry for the long message. Okay, so Tori, we work with this all the time. I've actually spoken about this on multiple Cabral concepts. So literally, if you go to stephencabral.com/podcasts and you type in amenorrhea, so just go to stephencabral.com/podcasts and type in amenorrhea. And if you type that in, you will see all the previous shows on this. So I would recommend checking that out. But I'd like to give you a place to get started. There's 2 reasons why an athlete like yourself is going to get amenorrhea, which is essentially the absence of a period. Now, of course, you should be having a normal period and a normal monthly cycle. So couple things. 1 is you're underweight. Number 2, your body fat percentage is low. Number 3, you're under a lot of stress from your athletics. And number 4, you could be under a lot of stress just from life. Those are all the reasons. Those are the majority of the reasons. So we'll need to look at your weight. We'll need to look at your body fat percentage. We'll need to look at your stress from athletics. We'll need to look at your sleep, which is your overall lifestyle that I spoke about in the last part. So actually, that's 4 things. So what you want to do is correct all 4 of those things. Honestly, like we work with this all the time. Very easy to correct. Now, it's very common in runners. Why? Because of the distance that you're putting on the body, the stress you're putting on the body, and potentially you might be at a lower body fat percentage for your weight or a lower BMI for your body type as well. What I'm recommending is additional calories, predominantly not from fat or protein, predominantly from starches, sweet potatoes, yams, Japanese yams, yucca, all of the root-based vegetables, even some oatmeal or rice if that works for your diet as well. Smoothies, so I'd recommend the daily fruit and vegetable blend, the daily nutritional support powders, so getting all of your vitamins and minerals. You're getting 22 organic fruits and vegetables with that daily fruit and vegetable blend. Then I would recommend an adrenal calming based product, something that has ashwagandha, that has phosphatidylserine, that will help to calm that sympathetic nervous system. Okay, highest recommendation is that you run a thyroid plus adrenal plus hormone test. That will let you know if you're more in a state of Graves'-based disease, which is too much thyroid output. Essentially, the TSH drops very low, below 0.5. It will show your cortisol output, and it will also show all of those hormones. That's what I recommend, the thyroid plus adrenal plus hormone test. Or if you're looking for a less expensive alternative, you could run the hair tissue mineral analysis. That's literally it. That is how you will overcome this. If you run that test, you'll get my recommendations. You will get to have a call with my health coach, and they'll take you through this. But I think I gave you a lot of information, and if you'd like to use that information first in the nutritional supplements, that will help you to get to where you need to be faster as well. You should also look into using magnesium, at least with dinner and before bed. That should help to calm that sympathetic nervous system as well. I hope that helps to get you started. Thank you for the question, and I want to hear your success story on this because I know you will have a success story. Okay, Lori is up next. Lori is writing in. My son is 7, diagnosed with PANDAS in October. Onset was September 7th. However, he developed tics in January that subsided about 2 weeks after the onset. His tonsils and adenoids were out in July. His tonsils began to grow all of a sudden. Biopsy clear. He's been on antibiotics and antivirals for about 6 weeks. Charcoal, 5-HTP, biofilm disruptors, probiotics, fish oil, topical CBD, and frankincense. He had elevated Epstein-Barr virus, strep, positive ANA, made small gains with OCD, and tics are gone. Still has rage, food intolerances, hallucinations, and can't attend school due to separation anxiety and handwriting regression. I'm wondering if he would have been better healing with your gut protocol another mom told me about. Please advise. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole show on this in the future because we work with this quite a bit in my practice. But it's so in-depth that I don't want to do you a disservice by just giving you maybe just a little bit of information with a house call question. Okay, here's the deal. You're doing so many great things. You really are. You're doing the omega-3s. You're doing the probiotic. You're doing a lot of great things. But what I want to recommend is this, is we need to get to the root cause. We need to really do a couple things. We need to go through the children's Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol, which is going to use the biocidin, which is going to use the fluorofilm, which is going to use the Saccharomyces boulardii. We really need to do a removal process first, okay? We don't want to add back things, probiotics in quite yet. We will be doing that with the Clean Gut Probiotic and eventually the daily probiotic support. We'll also then be using a smaller children's-based dose, a half a scoop, not a full scoop, but a half a scoop of the gut rebuilding protocol and the healthy gut support, which is the powder that you'll add to the shake. Your son that's 7 could also use the daily nutritional support powder, which would be a half a scoop of the powder to eventually 1 scoop, depending on how much your child weighs. The half a scoop of the powder would be for a child about 50 pounds approximately, okay? If they get up to 75 pounds, we would use 1 scoop, and then we could do over that once they start to weigh 100 pounds. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, the Candida bacterial overgrowth-based protocol. Then we need to seal up the gut. All right, we do this quite often. We use zinc. We use the omega-3 oil. We use the pure omega for the liquid. We don't use a regular one. And the reason we don't use the regular fish oil or cod liver oil is we want one that's higher in EPA. So we use the pure omega. So check that out. We'll try to link up to that on the store as well. But essentially, you just want a higher EPA-based liquid omega. You don't have to use anything that we're referring, but I do want you to use a functional medicine-based company. Okay, we typically use a little extra zinc as well. Again, that Candida-based children's Candida protocol. And then the healthy gut support will come after you're finishing that protocol, and the daily nutritional support powder. We're also going to be using a digestive enzyme with food to better break down the food itself. That will make it easier for your child to agree with. So that's the crux of it. That's the start to it. We'll oftentimes use magnesium if you run a hair tissue mineral analysis. But if you're able to, I recommend a hair tissue mineral analysis test and an organic acids test. You will then get my recommendations. And again, one of our health coaches will take you through all of those recommendations and get you started on a plan. Again, we've had great success on this, and I really want to be able to help you with that as well. Hopefully that answers your questions on that. And again, I'll be doing a much more in-depth protocol for children's gut-based issues in the future. I know this is a really big thing, and I want to be able to help you with it. I've actually helped my first daughter who had yeast overgrowth-based issues, and my second daughter that got H. pylori, actually after a food poisoning incident that I've spoken about previously on a Cabral concept. Again, all using natural medicine, no antibiotics, no other things needed. I'm not against those. And again, I always support you. I support your family. I support everyone in this community, whether they decide to use some antibiotics or not. Honestly, that does not matter to me. My job is to help you and support you in any fashion that you need me. And that's what I'm here for. So again, hopefully that answers your question. Really want to thank everyone for writing in over this past year, right? So since we're approaching just one more Cabral House Call for the year, I'm going to keep it at that for today. It's been a long week. I've been catching up on a lot of work before I take next week off, recording additional Cabral concepts so I can keep it going each and every day over this next week. And so I'm going to let my voice heal. I'm going to now go spend some time with the family, get a lot out of hopefully this Christmas season. And no matter what holiday you celebrate, I do hope you're taking a little time for yourself, a little time for your family. And I wish you all the best. Thank you again for tuning into another Cabral concept. Appreciate each and every one of your listens and shares. Take care, and I'll speak with you tomorrow on our new Mindset and Motivation Monday. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.